Hello traders, welcome to Trading Life Masters. This is Zi Cheng, one of the lecturers at trading.life. I hope everyone is doing well and making profits in the financial market. In this video, I will be teaching about liquidity concepts, buy-side liquidity and sell-side liquidity. I'm sure many of you is familiar with the word or at least heard of the word liquidity. For those that don't know, no worries. I will explain it later. And before we start, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you, and let's start today's video. Before we dive into buy-side liquidity or sell-side liquidity, we first have to understand what is liquidity. Now on the internet, there are a lot of definitions about what is liquidity, but let me just simplify everything for you. Liquidity simply means where orders lie. That's it. Liquidity is just where orders lie. So if we look on the charts, we can see liquidity everywhere in the market. We have liquidity here, we have liquidity down here, we have liquidity here, we have liquidity down here and down here. Liquidity is everywhere because there are people placing their limit orders, their stop orders, their stop loss everywhere in the market. So this is why we say liquidity is where orders lie. Before we learn to identify buy-side liquidity or sell-side liquidity, we first have to learn about swing low and swing high. So let me type out swing low, swing high. So what is swing low and swing high? Swing low or swing high is technically made up of 3 candles. So in this case, we have 3 candlesticks, and you notice we have a high here, we have a low here, and we have a high. So this is what we call swing low. This point here is called the swing low, and right here, this one, 3 candlesticks. So when we have 3 candlesticks, it means that we can find either a swing high or a swing low. In this case, we can see there is no swing low because right here, if I pick this low, but it is not made up of 3 candlesticks or the middle candlestick. If you want to determine this as a swing low, you will need to observe one more candlestick. But in this case, we can see that the highest point here is made up of these 3 candlesticks adding up together. This is not used because in this structure, this candlestick's high or low, it is not the highest. So right here, we'll pick these 3 candlesticks and we know this, we have the highest point here. So this point here is what we call the swing high. So this is swing high and swing low. After you have learned how to identify swing low and swing high, this is when you can start to identify sell-side liquidity and buy-side. So right here, this point just now was the swing low. So in this case, if we have a swing low, we will identify it as sell-side liquidity. And this one, this point was the swing high, and for swing high, we will identify swing high as buy-side liquidity. So it is that simple. Once you know how to identify swing low, swing low means sell-side liquidity, swing high means buy-side liquidity. So let's do some practice right now in the real charts. So right here in the charts, let's identify the buy side and the sell side. We can see the highest point here, it is the buy-side liquidity, and the lowest point here is the sell-side liquidity. So now let's see how price is moving. So we can see price now have grabbed the sell-side liquidity. So let's continue to see what happens. So now let's wait more. So now we have 3 candlesticks and this is the lowest point. So we can identify this as the sell-side liquidity now. We have a sell-side liquidity. And now price, this one has grabbed previously, so we can proceed to actually delete this. And now price is going up. So right here we have another buy-side liquidity. Let's see how price is moving. Price proceeds to come down and grab the sell side liquidity. Price continues to move lower. And look what happened. After price grabs sell side liquidity, it proceeds to move up. So how do we actually use this buy side and sell side is that once we see some grab, we might be able to see a reversal move. So let's continue to watch what happens. So we have a sell side liquidity here now. I'll choose this one instead. It has the lowest point. Sell side. So let's continue to see what happens. Look, can you see this? Price came in, tap onto the sell side liquidity. This week is obviously lower than this week. We see that price reversed back up. So this is obviously tapped. We can remove it. Now we identify this as the sell side liquidity. And let's see what happens. Price is moving up still, moving up. Now, can you see this? Price tapped into this buy side liquidity, tapped into it and reversed. So this is useless right now. And this has become a new buy side liquidity. So let's see what happens next. Price have now tapped into the buy side liquidity and let's see what happens. Continues to tap higher and it has not really tapped. Wow, can everyone see this? It actually tapped into this one. Look what happened. Tapped into this one and see what happens to price. Price decides to reverse. And this is now our new buy side liquidity. So like I always tell my students, liquidity is like a magnet. It attracts price. So don't be surprised if price decides to come down and tap this sell side liquidity. So let's see. Look, price tapped into that buy side liquidity and reversed back down. So let's continue to see what happens. Almost tapped this one. So let's continue and wait to see. So now price have finally tapped into this buy side liquidity. Let's see what happens to the price right now. Reversed and it decides to tap again. So we have another buy side here. Decides to tap again, reversed and reversed. Tapped again. So it keeps on going up and up and up. So let's identify a new buy side liquidity. Now this is our buy side liquidity, our new buy side liquidity. Let's see what happens next. So this is our sell side now. Let's see what happens. Price tapped into the sell side, decides to go move lower. This is our new sell side. This is invalid already, it has been tapped. So price decides to tap into the sell side liquidity once again. What happened? Reversed, went back down again. Can you see? Once it tapped into the sell side, it reversed back up. So this is how powerful liquidity is. But of course, we cannot just solely rely on liquidity itself. We need to match with other confluences. If we can identify liquidity from where we want to enter, it's actually a very good point. Let's look a little more. So we have a new sell side liquidity down here. So let's see, we have a new buy side liquidity here. So we have 2 points right now. Let's see which one it decides to tap. Tap the upper one, decides to move higher. This is our new buy side. Price tapped into this sell side liquidity. This was our new one and price continued to tap down. Let's see what happens. Now this is our new sell side. Let's continue to observe more. So we have a buy side liquidity here. Look, price came up, tapped the buy side liquidity, reversed aggressively down. Let's look more. Look what happened. Price came down, tapped this sell side liquidity, and what happened? Reversed back up strongly. Look, this is how powerful buy side liquidity is. So we can see very good example over here. Before this, we have two over here. One buy side, one sell side. Price went up first, take the buy side, reverse down, and came back down to take the sell side and reverse back up. So this is how liquidity is like a magnet. And look, came back down to tap this. This is our new sell side. Tapped it, tap some more, go down aggressively, came back up. This is our new sell side. Let's see, this was our new buy side, and look, price tapped into it, went back even higher. This is our new buy side, tapped into it, reverse, reverse, reverse. Wow, very strong everyone, very, very strong. We can see how powerful liquidity is. Now, tapped into this one, and let's see what happens. Went down more, this is our new sell side. Taps again, went up a bit, tap again, went up again. Very powerful. So I hope everyone have understood what buy side and sell side liquidity is. Here comes to an end for this video. I hope all of you understand about liquidity now. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. If you are interested to watch me live trade, head on to trading.live where I do live streams daily. Once again, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you and see you the next time. Trade safe.